That's not full. Come on. There we go. Go. Oh, I did see someone's released a mod for the MAN truck as a 3-axle rather than a 2-axle unit. And again, I forgot to add that to the mod list. I would like to replace our 2-axle truck with a 3-axle if I get a chance. Probably one where we have more money and can be a little bit more frivolous with it. But right now, we'll stick with what we've got as far as semi-trucks are concerned. Yeah, the thing is with farm sim is while field flipping is a valid, well, it's an allowed game mechanic. Field should be worth less if they don't have stuff in, if they don't have improvements. But if you're going to borrow money to buy land, you always know that if you get into trouble, you can sell the land at the same price you bought it. With equipment, not so much. You know, you buy a $200,000 tractor, drive it down the road, and if you get into financial difficulties, you're probably going to end up with that tractor only worth $120,000. And you still have to find a replacement potentially. So, something I've noticed Arthur does a lot is he buys all of his starting equipment. All of it before he starts the farm. What I'll tend to do is I'll decide what's permanent and what's not. So frequently I'll say I need a plough to prepare the fields this year, but I never need a plough again, so I'll lease it because that's cheaper. And then I just need to make sure that the plough I get is capable of being hauled by the tractor I can afford to buy, and that the tractor I can afford to buy is capable of pulling a plough. It's sort of limiting that first year's costs in order to keep the farm functional. And obviously a lot of farmers, yeah, that's how you work it. Oh, it's a little bit close. Let's drop that there. Okay. Let's get this attached up. So this is only 220 horsepower. I think the Axion's about 380, 390. It's fine. Multiplayer stream. The one he's doing is it Woodshire Farm right now? Friday's multiplayer stream. I've watched bits of that. Sometimes finding time to watch him can get a little bit tight with his schedule at the moment. Lift that up a bit. Where's my Axiom gone? Oh, hiding right behind me, tucked in. Yeah, and once again, he's running that, isn't he running that as a single farm as opposed to multi-farms? And I think with the way Arthur and the community's set up, that's usually the better setup. I know we sort of had the, oh wow, you can have up to 8 farms. And it doesn't work as a stream because obviously each farm's doing something different, and so it gets very disjointed. It doesn't feel like a community is the problem, because I'm doing my farm with my farmers and Arthur's doing his farm with his farmers, and nobody gets there's no sort of everybody's working towards the same goals. And also you kind of have to split up the chat so that I can tell my farmers what I want them to do and he can tell his farmers what he wants them to do. But then that breaks the stream as well, because I want to know what the conversation is. What are we all talking about? What's going on? And you can't do that when you're trying to concentrate on your farm. So I think what he's got now, and it was the way we played South Mountain Creamery back at the end of 17, it's a really great way of doing a farm. Okay, I'll jump out there. Okay. Oops. Oh well, I've lost that tyre. This Fent is also one of Smetty's mods. Guy who modded this class Axiom. Obviously, when he found out that class was a thing for 19, he stopped making his class tractor mods. And that Fent was one of his. I think he did some Ford tractors too. Okay, we'll go forwards and then pull around. Yeah. Tractor could still be with clean, but we'll probably get it out tomorrow. So I'm hoping we're going to have some harvesting to do tomorrow. Okay, 20 lights, turn that off. So that's got 25 hours in. That's got 21, okay. So the Challenger needs to be the next tractor that we use for a couple of days. I probably shouldn't be doing this, because obviously this is the least tractor. I don't want to be adding too many hours to it, but oh well. In here now, 47. Still got the turn signal on. Okay. We'll call it a day for silage hauling after this load. I'll go and find something else to do, like that's 85. Just that patch of land there and go and make some wood. So at least we'll see an immediate return on investment there. And I think possibly not on that trailer. Normally I could say a trailer of logs is worth about 30,000. Plus I don't know what the wood economy is like on this one. But that logging trailer's a little less height on it than normal. I could probably have got away with a small tractor. 6M maybe. That medium tractor. So it's only 120. But it's only 140 horse. Not particularly heavy. I'd do better with a 6R, but I don't know that you can put... Oh, you can put a front loader attached on the 6R. Just can't put narrow tyres on it. But that's 280 horsepower to start. No, it's only got 2 engine options. How are we going on? Okay, nearly done. But I think Virtual Farmers just started a mass or multiplayer farm on Sandy Bay, and he's doing that as many people, many farms. I may check in on that and see how that works out for him. But I really do like the I do not have any John Deere mods right now as far as tractors are concerned. I should probably take a look at some of them. Okay. So I haven't done John Deere tractors much. I should probably consider, since this is not a single fleet farm, probably consider adding a John Deere to this farm at some time. I mean, if we're going as this as a continuation of Lawfolds, then traditionally I have a lot of class equipment. And no Fendt equipment. This time round I've got more Fendt than I have anything else, so that's fun. As I said, probably add a class 600, Arian 600, and almost definitely a Lexion. Also, not a big case farmer either, so there are definitely opportunities for both John Deere and Case somewhere. So I think plans later on this afternoon is to do at least a partial reorganisation of my office. Unfortunately, we did a measure up last week of the IKEA desks I bought, and we don't fit into the office space by just an inch. So we're having to order a shorter desk unit, or desktop. So I went onto the IKEA website and they said, oh, you can't do pickup anymore, because they were doing a sort of drive-by pickup. No, stores are closed, you can't pick up. But you can order online for $100 delivery. So it's sort of, okay, let's find a bunch of stuff that we want and order that so that it makes the $100 worthwhile. And I must have checked out about 5 times because various things were out of stock. So, okay, that's out of stock, let's see something else. I finally got to a point where, okay, this is everything we want, and this is all the prices for things we want. And yeah, you're all good, and where do you want it delivered? Clicked on where we wanted it delivered. Yeah, we can do it in 4 weeks. Sort of, well, is the stuff that we want still going to be out of stock in 4 weeks? Yeah, forget that. So, we'll be doing shopping at IKEA when they allow pick up from the door, which hopefully will be in a couple of weeks. Okay, how many hours do we have on this save game so far? That would be there. We are 60 hours in already. That's not bad. And we've already used a lot of fertilizer. Okay, jump back in. We've done that. So, let's borrow some money again and buy that land of trees. That was me just hitting the fence post, so it should be okay. The nice thing about using this as a carting tractor is there's nothing here to spoil the view. Oops, let's try not driving into the trees. That would be bad. I've noticed that with obviously a lot of the modern tractors. You pull up to a main road and you look that way and it's sort of, I wonder if there's someone behind that computer monitor, especially the Valtras. They have a really inconvenient computer monitor. And it's not like you could do in a real tractor and sort of duck down and look underneath it to see what's coming. It's sort of your view is stuck. Right this minute, I do not have plans to do Sandy Bay. I mean, my opinion is there are a lot of people doing Sandy Bay at the moment. And it can quickly end up of, you want to watch people on YouTube playing Sandy Bay, there's 10 of them. And a lot of it is they're doing similar things. Also, Sandy Bay has at least one patch coming out, so I kind of like to wait before I get into a map, before I... where am I going? Back up. But I may look at Sandy Bay later in the year. I may also look at some of the other maps that are out there. I know Arthur's doing Peterville, and I thought about that one, but figured, maybe not. I don't know why, just maybe not. There's also, what was that other farm that, this has a horrible turn circle. Ooh. The class can make that 180 degrees. This tractor, not so much. Was it Sandy Bay? No. It was the other Irish map that Oxygen David did, I think. Has the Shamrock Valley, that's the one. Yeah, I may look at doing something in Shamrock Valley. Johnston Brothers flatbed with things for logs. So let us borrow some money. Make sure we have a little bit extra to cover the leasing cost of the tractor, and let us buy that plot there. Oh, it was 85, not 80. It's a good job I borrowed a little bit extra. And let's get over there and start chopping down trees quickly. Don't drive off the cliff. Now, I have to remind myself how to get to that piece of wood. And I may look at, oops, yep, spot the closed gate. I may look at No Man's Land as well. Plus, as we get this office organised, which is increasingly difficult due to everybody being closed at the moment. How do I get to the trees? No, that's the wrong button. That's the right button. I think I go up there through that field and it's round about there. There may be another entrance from 36, but I haven't looked at that. So we'll go this way. Oh, lots of hay left over from our mowing contract. Because No Man's Land's kind of one of those cool ideas that I'm looking at and saying, that's kind of neat. Yeah, here we are. This is a good place to go. Little opening. Let's put that there and turn that off and jump out and go and chop down a tree. Ah, okay, we don't have a chainsaw. Let's fix that. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. That one. I don't know, again, No Man's Land is a very, one of the things you're going to want to look at starting with is logging to clear up the land so that you can actually turn it into a farm. I would probably end up with an arable farm, but the initial bit would be, oops, that's a little bit close to the trailer. The initial start would probably be a fair amount of logging just to get the land cleared. Okay, we'll put them away and I guess we can fit. It's actually really a 7-meter trailer. So maybe let's go with 7s. I think I did some messing around on what was it, the Old Stream Farm, and I figured out that it doesn't matter how long you make your trees. Up to about 10 foot, at which point it does matter, because you don't get as much money for 10-foot logs as you do for pretty much anything below that point. It pays the same regardless of the log length. We can turn them, take the tape measure off. I'm not sure how many trees we've got here, but doesn't look like many. I can probably clear this. I'll probably buy a tree planter or lease a tree planter and replant it and then sell the land, because we don't really have to keep it. That's a problem. Okay. Okay, turn that off. kind of hoping that the wheel weights on the back of that fence would have been sufficient to balance out the tree, but obviously that was a big fail. Interesting. I want to figure out therefore how whether we can manage the things that we have for the stuff. The liquid containers we have for fertilizer and what have you. I want to find out if the Fent can manage those as well, unaided with without the weight.